Hello and welcome to Travelers, our website for the Advanced Web Programming course at Linköping University. Travelers is a social network where you can share and rate your favorite places with your friends in order to build your own city world map. Let's first make a short demo and we will explain later all the technologies and design methodologies we use. First of all, we can see here our user profile. We use Facebook login as we will show later to get all the information for the user. And you can see we have name, current location or home city, and the number of places the user has ranked on our system. We can post comments to the profile. As we see here, we already have a comment that we posted to our own profile, but we can post more. And when we post a comment, automatically updates the web page using WebSockets. And on the last news on the right, we can see that this has also been noted. And we have also a map where we can see our cities, the cities we've been to, and our personal ranking here on the left. If we click on a city, we can see the mark we gave to that city. In this case, Stockholm, for example, has an 8. And now I will show you how we rank the cities. Here we have the global ranking, which is a global ranking for the whole system with all the votes from all the users, and it's the mean mark. So we can see, for example, the top city in our ranking right now is Vienna, which has a 10, and this icon, the eye icon, means that I personally, the user that is logged in, hasn't been to that city. For example, we can see that I've been to Stockholm, as we saw on my user profile. So now I'm going to rank Barcelona, which is a city that is in the ranking but I haven't been to. So we get to the Barcelona city page. Every city has its own page. We get all the information from different IPs, Google Maps, Freebase for the images and the Wikipedia description, X flags for the flag right here. And now we are going to vote Barcelona with a 7, for example. So now we see that it has 2 votes. I ranked it with 7 points, and the mean mark has been updated automatically. I will go back to the rankings. We can see that now the eye is different because I voted Barcelona, and the mark is also updated here. Now I'm going to show you how the updates work with the WebSocket, because the updates are performed automatically. So for example, if I write another comment, it appears in all the clients at the same time. Or if I rank a city, for example, the rank is automatically updated on the other client. That's one of the main advantages of using WebSockets. And now I'm going to show you another profile. We sign out. This uses Facebook, so we sign out from Facebook too using its API. And we get to the login page, which is this one. And now, for example, if we try to go to a profile, we can't because we're not logged in. So now we're going to log with another profile. And here we can see all the comments we have in this profile and the rank we have different. For example, this user has voted Vienna, which on the other profile wasn't voted. And he has his own ranking and his own comments and everything in different profile. And now we can search for other users and see their profile. For example, we can delete here the comments because we haven't posted these comments or they are not on our profile, but we can write a comment to the user and it appears here, and as we said before, updated on the last news and everything, and we can delete it because we posted it, so everything is left. And on the rankings we can see the global rankings as before, but now the eye icons are different because we are in another profile, and for example this user hasn't visited Stockholm. Now we're going to talk about the technologies we've used for the web page. We use AngularJS on the front end and Bootstrap for the UI, and some other plugins to connect Bootstrap with Angular and make everything work together. And on the back end we use Express with Node.js as the server-side framework, and we use MongoDB with MongoSkin as our database. We also use Facebook for authentication. Now we're going to walk you through the code and show you how we connect everything together, the client and the server side. As we can see here on the HTML, we have some Angular tags. For example, here city name, first name, and some Angular directives, which this one, for example, Google Map, we take it from a library we found to use Google Maps with Angular. And on the HTML we just do the bindings to the variables we declare on the scope, that those are declared here on the controllers. As we can see, for example, the scope.name equals data name. It's just to assign to the scope, which then the HTML gets the information from. And to get the data from the backend, from the database and the server, we use services. Here, for example, we're calling the get on the server on the service user, which, as we can see here, is a call to this route, because we use a RESTful API to get the data from the database, and we use the resource from Angular because it's really easy when you want to do many HTTP requests on one collection of the database. So instead of doing the code for each HTTP request, you just use resource and you have all the code for all of them. And here is our routing on the server, that, for example, in user we have the get here as we saw before on the service, and when someone uses a get request to an address that is /user/SumID, we go to the database and find the user which has that ID and then return it as a JSON to the client side. And another thing we have used to make the client side more easy to use and less dependable on the server is sockets, which we use to update the client side every time someone posts something or someone votes a city. And we use socket IO, which is really easy, and here on the back end we just have some functions to handle that. And on the controller also we have some HTTP calls to the APIs we need, for example here with Facebook to get the location, or here on the ranking controller we can see some other HTTP calls to Freebase for the images and the description of the city, and some other assignment to the scope, which in this case is the scope of the rankings, which is a different scope. Each controller has its own scope. So we can see also the Angular routing, which assigns to each route a controller and an HTML template with the bindings as we saw before. For example, here a slash followed by an ID goes to user profile, uses user profile as a template and user profile controller as a controller. And required login is a parameter we created to redirect the user to the login if the user is not logged in. Well, this is the end of our walkthrough for our website. Thank you for your attention and we hope you enjoyed it.